welcome to potentially my book filming corner. Oh, I like this. Hi. You're watching the Christiana 321. I am the Christiana, and that is Fortran. A little while ago, I made a video where I read poetry for the first time, or poetry books collections for the first time, and actually since then I've read a couple more, and turns out my taste hasn't changed much since childhood, in that I really like Shel Silverstein growing up, and that kind of, we'll talk about poetry at another time, but I was thinking, what other type of book have I just not read yet, or haven't read as an adult? And one occurred to me as I was perusing the shelves of one of my local bookstores. Not local anymore, I'm in Wisconsin. You know this if you've been around. If you haven't been around, it doesn't matter. Anyway, graphic novels is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, it's just never really appealed to me. I've had friends who love them and recommend them, but the same way that I just never felt drawn to comic books, I never felt drawn to graphic novels. I like picturing things in my head. It's the same reason that I like to read the book before I see the movie, is I want to create the pictures in my head myself. But I thought, I'll give it a go. I've narrowed it down to 6. Because before filming this, I actually read Fangs by Sarah Anderson, which was super cute. It's about this vampire female woman, lady, person, and a werewolf dude, and they fall in love, and it's very cute. I don't know that this classifies as a graphic novel, because it, again, felt a lot more like just like a series of Sunday morning comics, where you could read just one page and be pretty much fine. It was more like short stories than a novel, But it was really cute, and I did like it. So, for this video, though, the 5 I've chosen are these. They're not all facing the same way. Oh no. Are these? Alright, so the first one is Pumpkinheads by Rainbow Rowell. But, love Rainbow Rowell. I just never say their name out loud, I guess. Faith Erin Hicks also involved. I don't know if Faith was more of the illustrator. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, Rainbow and Faith. Great names. So I'm excited for that one. I think it's gonna be very cute. Then Skyward, which it says volume 1 at the bottom, which makes me think there's probably a sequel. One day, gravity on Earth suddenly became a fraction of what it is now. 20 years later, humanity has adapted to its new low-G reality. And to Willa Fowler, who was born just before G-Day, it's pretty awesome. Who wouldn't want to be able to soar through the air? But there are dangers too, and not just the fact that with one wrong step, you can go flying off the face of the earth. Seems like it's gonna be more like a comic book, like superhero comic book kind of thing. But I think I will get distracted by how just crazy detailed and awesome the images are. I want to see everything and know everything that is happening on every page of this book. I need to get another light. I understand. I get it. Then we've got Tetris by Box Brown, which as far as I know, and I have not fully actually confirmed this, it's just a non-fiction book about the creation of Tetris and Tetris as a game and stuff. Then there's In Real Life by Cory Doctorow and Jen Wang. Anda loves Course Gold Online, the massively multiplayer role-playing game where she spends most of her free time. It's a place where she can be a leader, a fighter, a hero. It's a place where she can meet people from all over the world and make friends. But things become a lot more complicated when Anda befriends a gold farmer, a poor Chinese kid whose avatar in the game illegally collects valuable objects and sells them to players from developed countries, with money to burn. This behavior is strictly against the rules, but Anda soon comes to realize that questions of right and wrong are a lot less straightforward when a person's real livelihood is at stake. Not what I thought it was from the cover. Oh no. But it does sound like really cool. Some moral quandaries going on. And then the last one, which this one and Tetris might be the thickest of the graphic novels, is Bubble. Oof, even the synopsis is long. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Built and maintained by corporate benevolence, the city of Fairhaven is a literal bubble of safety and order, and a maze and coffee in the midst of the brush. A harsh alien wilderness ruled by monstrous imps and a rogue band of humans like Morga, who's brush-born and bubble-raised and fully capable of fending off an imp attack during her morning jog. Okay. Alien world. Some like... Oof. Okay, I just happened to flip to a page that was a little bit scary. Maybe it's the imps. They look like very angry baboons a little bit, or at least that particular one that I flipped to. I don't know if that was an imp. Anyway, so I'm excited to get started on these and see if I have a new genre to, or like style, I guess. New format of story to consume. I just finished reading In Real Life last night. It was really good and something that I think any middle grades teachers I might know, or high school teachers who teach literature, economics, or like some kind of sociology, social, might enjoy giving it a little look-see if you haven't already. But yeah, it was sweet, it was cute, it was quick. I really enjoyed the art style, and it kind of made me want to start playing a MMORPG. I already have a lot going on. Or just playing like an RPG IRL, Dungeons and Dragons or something. I gotta find somebody up in Wisconsin who wants to play. Next, I'm gonna read Pumpkinheads. Oh, it's upside down. Pumpkinheads. Hey, you can kind of see me. Cats have a haunted house now. Isn't that cool? So anyway, I am on here to tell you that yes, my house still has boxes and random piles of stuff, but I finished Pumpkinheads last night, recently. Yeah, I think it was last night. It was really cute. It was very YA, it was very fluffy. The only thing I didn't really like was the main girl, whose name is escaping me now. I don't know, she just felt like really... I gotta set you down somehow. She just felt like a caricature, kind of, like, her main traits were that she liked eating food and fair snacks, and then she was also adventurous, and she was bi, and that's pretty much it. Although, so the way that she described herself, she did not use any like official labels or anything. But she seemed like she was a demi and a bi, I think. I don't know what, like, how demi people categorize themselves, because I feel like you could be demi and bi, or demi and hetero, or demi and gay/lesbian. I just feel like that was kind of her main personality trait, that she really liked food, and she was demi, and dated lots of people. But it's a graphic novel, it's meant to be short, it all happened in one night. How much character development do I really want? Just more. Part of it was that they had two main characters, and so trying to do that in a graphic novel, especially like, I don't know, like a medium length one, might have been too much. But overall, like, fair, fluffy, cute, quick story. I liked it. Major fall themes, which is what I was going for. I'm even wearing a fall sort of sweater, so see you after either Skyward or Tetris. I don't know which one I'm gonna pick up next. Hey everybody. So I actually haven't filmed anything for this video in a hot minute. And that's partially because the only reading I was really doing was for school and then audiobooks. But I only have 2 books left on this challenge I gave myself, and I start classes again tomorrow. So my goal is, before classes start again, to get through, to read these last 2 books. I've got Skyward, which looks very short, and then also the Tetris one, which is quite a bit longer, and I think also wordier, because it has lots of like facts and stuff in it. Alright, I'm gonna start with Skyward. This is Skyward. It looks like it's upside down, but it's not. Okay, so I know for you, like, no time has passed to anything. I mean, it's a short book, so for me, kind of no time has passed. But also, this is book 1, and oh my gosh, this was really good. I need book 2 now. Thank you. So yeah, there's a world, there's no gravity. There was gravity, and then science happened, and now there's no gravity. And Willa, and like, yeah, I can't really explain it without giving away spoilers, but her and her dad's relationship are just so sweet, and a little bit cliche. Like, I feel like I've definitely read that basic relationship arc between father and daughter before, but it was really sweet, and was a really good setup book. On its own, I feel like it was fine, but knowing that there's like more of them, or at least planned to be more of them, gosh, I hope there's more. Yes, it looks like there's more. I'm excited to read them. Okay, I'll pay attention to you now. Oh, but so next, I'm going to get a jacket on and maybe get under the covers because I'm cold, but I'm going to start reading Tetris. Okay, hi. This is a great angle. You can see. Who's that? Fortune? Cool. So it's now been a few days. I have started my class. Classes, I should say. 2 of them. But I did finish Tetris, the last of the graphic novels that I pulled for this video. This experiment, whatever you want to call it. I don't know, can you call this one a graphic novel? Because it's nonfiction, and regular novels are fiction. I don't know. But so yeah. So this does go through the history of the creation of Tetris and all of the insane legal battles that went on with the rights. The fact that the guy who invented Tetris didn't actually get paid for it for a very long time because he was a Russian citizen and working in a national lab kind of thing at the time. He didn't make it as part of his work, he made it in his free time, but they still had a lot of say in what happened with it. And there's this one bit, let's see if I can find it. But near the end, it's the inventor guy and one of the people who's kind of his friend, sort of at a conference, just kind of talking about it. And the problem with graphic novels is it's not always easy to tell who's talking about it. But one of them says, 100 years ago, people played sports to get them ready for a life of physical labor. But now we work almost exclusively in virtual worlds. Games prepare us for our lives. And I thought that was really cool, because in it he's talking about Tetris and gaming. Like at that moment in the conference, he's talking about Tetris and gaming being a part of the Olympics one day, or just like on the larger scale of games that were traditionally physical feats are now increasingly mental and on computers. And so yeah, a lot of the people out there who think that video games are making kids more violent, a whole other thing. But the people who protest against video games are probably the same people who protested against kids playing football or something. Maybe not. I don't know what I'm thinking. But it was good. This one did take me longer than all the rest. But I'm gonna do like a wrap up of my thoughts as a whole in the next clip. And here's the thing. I've been making this video for a while, so I don't have the best memory of what I've already said in clips. So it's gonna be fun to edit. Hey, so I somehow forgot that I was also supposed to come on. I was also supposed to be reading this book, Bubble, just another graphic novel, which I have started. So, you know, there's that. I've read this much. I've got a lot to go, but I've been reading these pretty quickly. I'm gonna finish this tonight, and I'll update you. I might have to wait until later this weekend to do the full, like, closeout of all of this. But, yeah, I don't know why I thought Tetris was last. Tetris was supposed to be last, but I don't know why. I moved this out of my bookshelf so that I could read it, and then time happened, and I was like, oh, I've read all the graphic novels in my bookshelf except for Tetris. I guess that's my last one. Nope. I'm gonna get to reading, and I will see you later. Okay. I've got a different cat on my lap now. I finished Bubble. I don't think it's my favorite. It had a lot of similarities to Skyward. There's some, like, parental issues. There's, like, the rich people live in the safe part of the dystopian world, the poor people live in the dangerous part, and oh dear. There were like elements of it that seemed like we're in there to make it have like an R rating, but weren't really in there organically, which if you remember from, or if you watched my reading poetry for the first time video, then you'll know like it's kind of one of my pet peeves. Like I'm fine with it being in there, but it needs to feel natural and part of the characters and stuff. I think part of it is being graphic novel format. You have to like fill in the gaps about people's character based on how they look a lot, and I tend to think everyone is more wholesome than they appear. So to me, when they were, you know, talking about grown-up fun or cursing or whatever, even when it was someone who is a bit unconventional in the way that they present themselves, like it felt unnatural to me, just because I assumed that they would be wholesome and they weren't. In general, I like the story. I guess it's based off of the smash hit podcast, which I've not heard, so I don't know. And it definitely seems like this is the first in a series, so maybe. I would read the next book in the Skyward series. I don't think I would read the next book in Bubble. It just was less compelling to me, some of the different relationship and character arcs that were going on. Although, like, the rich, evil corporation, like, there are a lot of very similar elements between the two. But Skyward was a lot shorter, like, lengthwise. So I don't know. Alright. I'll see you in a second for my wrap-up of all of them. Hey everybody, so for the wrap-up, thought it was only fitting to do it in front of the bookshelf. Alright, so there's a very strong chance that I'm missing one. I know. Okay, I was missing 2. I read 6, and if I read more than this, I don't remember them. After I read each book, I should have given you a little tidbit about what I thought, but we'll go through it real quick, just in case I forgot what I read. Read Fang by Sarah Anderson. Anyway, it was adorable. I think I loved it. Pumpkinheads. Oh, what is with you standing in front of the camera? Pumpkinheads was adorable. It's super cute. I would love to get to know these characters in a longer format, but because they just don't want me to film a wrap-up. But because of the way that graphic novels are, I appreciate that this happened over one night, because I feel like you got everything that you needed to know about that one night. Some of these other stories leave a lot up to the imagination. In real life, out of these so far, this is the first one that I really could tell was a commentary. Maybe those other two have commentaries on there too, and I just missed it. Are you done? But it's about this female main character gets really into online video games, and she befriends this person who's playing the video game as their job in a, I was picturing it as being in China. I don't know if it actually specified or if it was just a general communist kind of thing where there weren't very good labor laws or anything in place. But so she gets to see the world through his eyes, and technology helps her to be a better person, a better citizen of the world, because it exposes her to other people's stories. There's a lot more to it than that, but I really like this one. In Real Life by Corey, Dr. Rao, and Jen Wang. Also, I just really liked the art style. I thought it was real. I appreciate that particular style of drawings. I think I'm going in order that I read them, but you saw earlier what the order was. This has been stretched out over, I think, definitely more than 6 months since I decided to do this video. And right now I'm procrastinating doing homework, so that's why it's getting finished. So then next I read Skyward, which is another one that's got some commentary on society, but it's a dystopia future where gravity doesn't exist. Then it gets complicated. That's kind of the setup. But I thought it was a really fun dynamic. I liked, it was very short, and I liked the dynamic, the story between her and her dad and some of the different relationship arcs in here. So it was short, but it was compelling. Then I read Tetris, which is a history of the game Tetris. Not much more I can say about that. It was very information heavy, and it was mostly all yellow, white, and black, which was difficult, especially telling some of the people apart. At the end of, or at the beginning of each section, they had a few of the people's headshots, you know, drawn headshots, so that you could tell who was who. But I was pretty bad at recognizing them, so that made it a little bit confusing, but not much. A lot of information, an interesting format. I had not seen a nonfiction graphic novel before, so cool. And then Bubble, I know what I just said about Bubble because I finished it, you know, 15 minutes ago. But yeah, another one, interesting relationship dynamics, but a very similar dystopian type future to Skyward. But be warned, this is rated at least PG-13, perhaps R, depending on, I mean, like, it doesn't show anything that would make it R, but some of the language and some of the implied stuff is, I don't know. I don't know how rating systems work, but it deals with, like, corporate greed and different, like, weird family dynamics and stuff. So overall, my opinion on graphic novels, I will definitely read some more graphic novels if I happen upon ones. I've read things similar to things before, where it's like basically just compiled comic strips. So if I have a particular comic I like, totally get that. Things like Pumpkinheads, where it's essentially a YA novel but in graphic novel form. Maybe I think I'd still prefer the regular novel. The one of these that I would continue in the series is definitely Skyward. I don't know, like it says that it's volume 1, I don't know how many volumes there are. So I will look into that and perhaps continue. The one thing that is, you know, obviously missing if you're into more graphical kind of literature is manga. I think all of these are American slash British slash like that kind of demographic part of the world. I could be wrong. I did not look that up. But definitely, I don't think any of these would qualify as manga. So I might try that as one of my next, like, reading for the first time. I am pleasantly surprised by these. There was a lot more to them than, as far as like plot and character development, than I thought could be done in graphic novels, especially like short ones, or like standalone ones. I know in manga, there's the ones that I'm familiar with have, 30 volumes, so obviously you're gonna get, or hopefully you'll get character development over all of that time. But in standalones, I wasn't sure what was possible. I'm not a super visual person. I respond a lot more to the written word or the spoken word. So like filling in the gaps and making, or drawing conclusions and making assumptions based off of the drawings was not my favorite. So it probably still won't be my go-to, but I'm glad that I tried it, and I won't hesitate quite so much to try another one in the future. Or if you have any graphic novels that you really like and would like to suggest to me, please let me know in the comments below. I would love to read some more, especially like some different styles, both drawing styles and like genres, I guess. These were all kind of YA, other than the Tetris one. They're all kind of like YA, dystopia, future, that sort of thing. Hunger Games. Anyway, thanks for watching this, I'm guessing, incredibly long video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and maybe you'll try some of these books yourself, or you'll not try them based off of what I said. Not because any of them were bad. None of them were bad. They were all wonderful. But if you have a better idea of what they're like, then you can make a decision for yourself whether you want to try them. But yes, I like graphic novels now. Okay, bye. Sue James, love me.